KD kind of flipped the ball back to him, it would be good.
What did you think of his performance after that?
It was great. You know, he made shots. He was great defensively. You know, it's good for us to have him back out there for sure.
Draymond, how do you compare just like what the energy and vibe is like when Clay gets going versus when Steph?
That's the same. You know, any of those guys get it going for us. We feed off that, and you know, it kind of causes an onslaught. So it's, you know, it's good when any of those guys get going like that.
Is this a good matchup for DeMarcus?
I think it's a good matchup for us when we play with energy. You know, everybody want to talk shit about DeMarcus' defense. I told y'all last game, we haven't played with energy or at practice. Everybody want to, oh, it's a problem when DeMarcus is out there. Yet, everyone picked the energy up. All of a sudden, no one's talking about DeMarcus was a problem defensively. Now it's a good matchup for him. That's bullshit to me.
The level of defensive engagement to open the game, and then in that closing part of the first half there, it looked like you guys were just at a different speed. How much of that was just based on what happened before? How much of that was based on the last couple of days of practice and just getting your minds locked in?
Oh, well, you know, the last couple of days of practice was great for us, and you know that to start the game the way we did, you could sense, you know, that it was good. Not that, you know, it's like, oh, everything that we've been struggling with was fixed, but you can just kind of sense that everybody was locked in, and there's still a lot of things we can correct. You know, we had 17 turnovers, we still can correct that. You know, I helped in off some shooters a few times. We can correct that, and so you know, it was good to just kind of feel that energy and focus level from the start of the game, and then obviously, I think our offense towards the end of that first quarter and the beginning of that second quarter screwed our defense up, and then we were able to get it back rolling offensively, and the defense was able to get back to the level it was in the beginning of the game.
Well, following up on that, the energy was significantly better. What do you guys have to do to maintain it now, moving forward?
I think our focus level right now is more important than our energy level. Obviously, the energy was great, but we're not going to play with that energy every night. I'm not going to sit here and lie and act like we are, but we can play with that focus every night, and I think that's more important going down the stretch. You know, there's going to be some games where you don't have that energy, but if you have the right focus, then all of a sudden 17 turnovers is 10, and then we give ourselves a chance to win any game. And so I think that would be more important than necessarily the energy level.
Draymond, DeMarcus blocked 6 shots, and he stole the ball 3 times. I mean, those would be numbers you'd probably be happy to come away with most nights. Do you think that the criticism, specifically of his defense as a liability, lit a fire under him at all?
I think it pissed him off. You know, he's a competitor. You know, he's one of those guys that's been misunderstood his whole career because he competes and he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And saying that, like I said before, our entire team played better defense. And so we want to everybody want to single one guy out, but yet our entire team defense was horrible the last 2 weeks. And so everybody picked that up tonight, and obviously he shined on that end as well, but everyone picked it up. And so all of a sudden, it's not just trying to pick one guy out the bunch and say, oh, well, this is the reason they're struggling. No, we all were the reason we're struggling. And now that we all picked it up, we saw some things that he's capable of tonight, which I've seen even throughout our struggles. He gets his hands on a lot of balls. You know, he comes up with some blocks. He's been really good at times, but because the team was struggling, everybody wanted to pick the one guy out, and obviously he's the guy that hasn't been here, so it's easy to say the Warriors have always been good defensively. Well, DeMarcus is there, so let's pick on him. The fact of the matter is we've been middle of the pack defensively the whole year, and so it was good for everybody to pick it up on that side of the ball, and then for him to have the defensive performance that he had.
Draymond, you had mentioned the meeting before practice that I think you guys had on Wednesday. I think sometimes we can blow that kind of thing up a little too much, but was that an important meeting, do you think? Did that have anything to do with what you guys did tonight?
I think it was important in the sense of, I think in life, And obviously basketball is always good to kind of sit down and go over your goals, to kind of see those goals. You know, you write those goals down and you get a chance to see them every day. We hadn't done that in a while. So from that standpoint, I think it was very important because if you don't write those goals down, if you don't revisit them, then all of a sudden you forget about them. And, you know, it's easy to say, oh, well, our goal is doing a three-peat, you know, or three-peat, but you forget about all of that in the midst of an 82-game season if you don't touch on it again. And so I think it was important for that, from that aspect for us.
And safe to say, obtaining the #1 seed was amongst the primary goals?
Yeah, I mean, we want to get home court. You know, playoffs are never easy, but having home court makes it a little bit easier on ourselves.
Great, thank you, appreciate that. Our staff will be in here in just a minute.